Hi, welcome back to the Woman Experience. If you're new here, this is a channel where we love on ourselves as women, we elevate, we evolve, we experience life in its fullest form. If you are on a journey to growth, development, being better, doing better, leveling up, challenge yourself, stick around and do let other women know, and welcome back. So today, last week we talked about the weight that women carry. And if you haven't watched that, I'll link it somewhere in this channel. The weights that we carry so heavily and with so much grace. And I promised a part 2 where we are going to talk about the crown that women carry. Because here's the thing, every obstacle, every pain, all of these responsibilities that you so gracefully carry are actually like, stripes of honor. Like when you go into the battlefield, when a warrior is going into the battlefield and you have like armory, you have your sword, you have your arrows, you have your guns, you get the drift. What you have acquired from the battlefield is this armory that you can use, and you're much, much better for it. So I wanted to sort of get this discussion of the weights. How do you make the weights that you carry, the crowns that you carry? Because now that you know better, you know what? You do better. And I remember when I was doing that episode, I said, you cannot simply exhaust the weights that women carry because of our different circumstances, but there are universal weights that we know in our hearts of hearts, like nurturing our families, the weights of family obligations, the weights of financial well-being. These are universal things that we as women, they weigh heavily on us. So today, let's talk about the crown that we carry. The first crown that we carry is the crown of resilience. And I want you to look at some of the women in your life that you admire. For me, it's my mom and my grandmother. Sometimes I look at them and they seem like they have it all together, like nothing shakes them. And I realize it's because these women have been through so much. They have been through it all. Everything, you name it, expectations from people, cultural expectations, people dictating how they should be and how they should move, and what they have under their badge of honor is that crown of resilience. And I think this is something that is also really God-given for women, that we are able to weather storms. You have seen the worst of things and you still stand strong. So I want you to remind yourself that the crown that you always carry, especially when you're trying to do difficult things, even in this season of your life, remember all of the things that a couple of years ago you thought you couldn't weather, and now you're standing strong. So for example, it could be that you experience a job loss, the loss of a child, or the loss of a relationship, someone you thought you would marry and never got married to. Whatever it is that women that we have lost, think about that as a stepping stone, and you have like an armory of lessons. So now you know better. And when you look back and see how far you have come, you're then able to do the hard things that you need to do now in this season of your life. You're resilient and you're made for it. So I think that's one of the crowns we carry, because we have the ability to expand and take it all in. So that's one of the things. So we carry the crown of resilience. Number 2, one of the crowns that I also realize that the women carry as they mature, as you grow older, and this one comes with aging, is the crown of wisdom. I said now that you know better, you're doing better. But what you have become wise about is a couple of things. You've become wise about who you really are. So here's the thing, in our 20s and in our 30s, we try to run away from the essence of who we are, what we believe in, what our boundaries are, what is important to us, our dreams and things like that. But now that you're older, you have this crown of wisdom. And I think it's just God's way of, as you age, I think you just become a more confident person in who you are. So you now know better. You know what serves you and what doesn't serve you. You also are wise about the people and community around you, what they are capable of, what they are not capable of. You've actually made a lot of peace with some of the things that over the years have just really rattled you. And I think you can name some of those things. So it could be extended family members. It could be situations in your career. It could be situations with friendships that have come and go. So now in your armor, you just are so wise about yourself. So you're more self-aware, but you're also self-aware about the people that surround you. And also, you can smell we are ladies here, we don't use curse words, but you can smell from a mile away things that don't serve you. And you know what? You're able to avoid them, and you're able to say, this is not part of what is going to be mine anymore, because now that I'm older, I know better. So I think that's one of the things, that the weights we have carried over the years, that's the gift that it gives us, that we're now wiser about who you are and the people that you deal with. So I think that's the other crown that you carry as you age, the crown of wisdom. And I think we could tell a million stories of what lessons have taught us. That friendship that never materialized, that person who broke your heart, and now you understand what love is. That career or that toxic workplace that really taught you about what you want to value in your next career. So try, and I want to encourage you, if you want this crown of wisdom to keep, the way to keep adjusting it and keep it on top of your head is to start noting down the lessons that you have learned from the pain you have experienced. Because unless you learn to sit down and make space for what life has taught you in these very painful experiences, you'll never move forward. And one of the things I think that I've come to realize, you will keep getting the pain until you learn the lesson. And I don't know if you have experienced this. You keep getting the same pain and pain over again because the universe is telling you have not learned your lesson. So what are some of the scenarios in your life that you keep getting pain from? Whether from relationships, whether from your career, whether from something that you did, or you keep telling yourself that it doesn't matter, but the pain keeps coming. So the one way to keep adjusting this crown of wisdom and keep it on top of your head, learn to see what that pain is teaching you, and be very, very open with yourself on the part that you had to play with it. So I think that's the other crown that we carry. We carry the crown of wisdom because of all these weights that we've had to carry. The next one, and I was trying to find words for this, and I think it's the crown of really strategic focus on what serves you. You become so adept at narrowing down to a T the kind of life that you want. Because remember, now you're wiser, right? But now you know to a T the kind of goals that you want, the kind of values that you want to embody, the kind of people that are in your corner. So you become very, very laser focused. And I hope that, especially for ladies over 40, you're becoming really good at narrowing down and really, really asking yourself, now that I have the crown of wisdom, and now that I am better, How can I start to design the life that serves me? And this is a crown that I want you to start putting on your head and adjusting accordingly. So now, because also you don't have the luxury of another, 50, 60 years, like life mortality. One day you're not going to be here. And so now as you grow older and you realize that time really goes by fast, can you start adjusting your crown of strategic focus where you are so clear on your vision and the kind of gift that God has given for you to fulfill on this earth? You're also very clear on the kind of people in your corner, the kind of environments that serve you. Because unless you sit down and start designing that proactively, like I said in the previous point, you're going to keep repeating the pain. And now that you know better and you want to do better, this is the one thing that now to move forward and to stay on this path of growth, you need to do. And you also become unapologetic. And that's why the strategic focus will come so easily to you. You become unapologetic about honoring your values, who you are, what you want to do with your time, And by the way, look at some of the older women that you know, those who are in their 50s, 60s. One of the things that they keep saying is that they don't really care about what people think of them. They do what they want when they want, because they realized long time ago, it really is never that serious. If I don't honor myself, no one will do it for me. So please wear that crown with honor. Be so clear on where you want to go, how you want to go, what gives you joy, what makes you happy, how you want to move forward in your life. This is one of those crowns I want you to adjust with such grace and with such poise, so that you start to let go of anything that is not serving you anymore. And I'm at that place where, for me, one of the things that I do is coming in here every week and talking to you, because this is important for me. And while I still want to focus on my family and other things, this is so important for me that I'm making time for it. And that's a strategic focus of mine. So what's yours? What do you know you should be focusing on and you're not? So please adjust that crown. Now that you know all of the weights that you carry and you want to adjust them into crowns, can we be better at that strategic focus? The one I wanted to end with is the crown of empathy. And I think I am becoming much more attuned to the fact that as I grow older, not everything is a battle. Not everything is a fight. In spaces where I don't need to talk, you don't have to. You just become so empathetic at even some of the people who wronged you, situations that you played a part for in yourself, forgiving yourself. You just become so much better at forgiving yourself and others. And when people, younger girls or people who are younger than you make mistakes, they are on their own journey, just like you are on your journey. So you have this crown of empathy, of just realizing that, everyone will learn their lesson and you don't have to fight every battle. At least that's how I feel. That life is so short, and because I have strategic focus in other areas, I am giving people that room for empathy. I'm also empathetic with myself, telling myself that even though it feels like I wasted, some of my time in my 20s and 30s, those were like battle scars and I wear them proudly. I'm now doing better. So I'm more empathetic. You generally just become a better human being as you grow older. And despite these weights that we are constantly carrying them, you're also giving yourself grace. So this was a really short episode, but I just wanted to tell you that the weights that you have carried over the years, and some of them that you continue to carry, really, they are your crowning glory. You're the queen of the castle. And start reframing the conversations you have of yourself, of the failures and the weights that you carry. Start reframing. Ask yourself what lessons. Ask for wisdom. Try and dig deep. so that you're moving ahead with such purpose. So that's it. That's it for this episode. Let me know if there are things that you would specifically like us to tackle. And in the next episode, we are going to talk about real specifics on how you can get to some of the goals that you've been thinking about. So keep it here. Let me know what you think. Share this with another woman who might benefit from the woman experience. And I cannot wait to see you next week. We never fail here. So see you next week. Bye-bye.